Hi, people. Welcome back again to our episode, the fifth episode, under Breaking Barriers. And today, our topic will center around Pride Month and giving it the context of the Africanicity, the Kenyanness. Often we are being told that being queer, is an African. And we wonder, kwani sisi tulitoka wapi jamani? Yeah? So, as Pride comes to a close, we are reminded of the resilience, the community, the collective solidarity to honor those who came before us and also to prepare for the future. So, today we are not only talking about human rights, we are talking about lived realities, lived experiences. And to help me in this conversation, I am joined by a very brilliant, renowned, kwa field wako. And I'll start with my left.
Wanjiro Karaoke, a human rights defender, an activist, and a queer person.
Thank you so much, Wanjiro. And on to my right.
My name is Kelvin Jerry. I'm a human rights defender, a queer activist, and I could even dare say I'm a spiritual leader.
Well, of course, yes, honey, we are all too spiritual also. So maybe I start with you, Wanjiro Karaoke. The name gives that Africanicity.
The African in me.
So what does Pride Month mean in today's Kenyan and African context?
I would say Pride Month at this particular era in our continent, Africa, it is resistance. It is survival. It is, we are here. You can see us. We're not going anywhere. Yeah. It's not like pop and color just to mark a month or a day, maybe like the way the Western people do it. But here, it's all about fighting for survival, fighting for a space to be here, showing people that queer people do really exist and they're here, they're not going anywhere. Yeah.
And to you, Kelvin?
Queerness in the Kenyan context that's an interesting context. But for me, it is that queer people can fully exist without worry. It is still puzzles me that people can still look at you and accuse you of causing drought in this country. So for me, being queer and being Kenya means even the person mwenye anaishi huko rural huko, I can visit the place and still live with my life and with my dignity and still live that person in their own space and safety. So for me, it's that we will coexist peacefully without the need to keep explaining who I am or making you feel like, different.
Different. Yeah. And what are your takes on this narrative that being queer is an African? Because we are seeing it being actually perpetuated across West Africa, North Africa, and even East Africa. And I believe also in South Africa that, ushoga uliletwa na mzungu. Maybe historicity around queerness? Wanjiro?
It's very funny that narrative gets peddled and people now believe it and also use it to harm others, all in the name of it's a westernized thing, imeletwa. But if people go down history, let's say it's from Kenya. For example, when people castigate trans women, there is healer, spiritual leader from Meru, them days, who used to dress femininely, the way women will dress. And they used to marry men. But that history is almost erased. Like you have to Google, go deep down the rabbit hole for you to realize, queer people really did exist. Because how do you explain a spiritual healer, leader, respected in the Ameru community who adorns
feminine clothing,
represents themselves as a female, and they are respected in that community, and they do marry a fellow man, and there's nothing else. Nobody was like, so Western, what did the Western come to say? Just only to harm. They didn't come to bring anything that did not exist. Agikuyu and Akamba women, Nandi women were allowed, older Nandi Kikuyu, Kamba women were allowed to marry women who would bear their children and continue their name. Do we have an explanation for that? And is that not queerness?
Because it is queerness.
Yes. So when they say it's a westernized thing, we are like, please, when you say go back to school and read something, I mean, go back and do your history a little bit, get to know, and then you understand, no, it's not a westernized brought up thing. The only thing I believe that Western brought are the policies and religion to discriminate against the queer persons.
True. Because even myself, I was reading this a piece of a publication by this writer, nimemsahau jina, and she states that in the Portuguese explorer's notebook, he states that when he came to Africa, guess where? Congo Empire. Yeah. And he categorically stated that he met something which was out of this world. Men were too feminine, and men were engaging in anal sex, what he termed as abominable. Recall, Portuguese Spain were the first countries to evangelize or accept Christianity. So, something which existed outside that fold, it was quote unquote Sodom and Gomorrah. And maybe I come to you, maybe from your own perspective.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Astrid. To say that, first of all, sexuality, being gay is not the only sexuality out there. Sexuality is in everyone. Now, claiming that a group of Africans learned only homosexuality, that makes it, when did they what was the criteria that was used to teach anyone sexuality exactly?
Who taught them?
I feel like saying it is an African is also making Africans look a little bit dumb. Like we can't be gay for being no. Nobody taught me, and let me use myself as an example. Born in Kenya, actually born in Naivasha, and up to date, I'm very sure there are people who've never had gay, lesbian, whatever in Naivasha. So, and growing up to the age of around 16, 17, I had no phone. We did have a TV, but what is seen in our TVs is only the heterosexual
content,
accepted content. So exactly where did I learn?
Ililetwa na mzungu jamani, haujasikia hiyo?
Hata by the way nimesahau kusema. Hata wazungu wenyewe nilianza kuwaona lini kwani? Like I was already grown.
Ama hajasema ulikuwa esed ndo maana.
Jamani, yeah?
It doesn't make any sense. Wazungu wenyewe nimeanza kuona when I'm grown, when I'm fully aware of my sexuality. So please, let's not take credit from Africans. We are smart enough to know our own sexuality and to know that we do not need to be taught or influenced by anyone. Yeah.
And so it's a good thing that you've mentioned that. I think it was Wanjiru. You mentioned about the colonizers coming with religion and the policies. So amidst these criminalizations, what does empowerment look like in the Kenyan civic space with regards to LGBTQI persons?
I think empowerment means, for example, I get to go to a healthcare facility and the services that I receive there from the healthcare workers is not biased. They are empowered enough to know if a queer person comes here and seeks medical services, this is how I'm supposed to treat them. Not like another human being, but like the usual human being, or the word they want to use, normal. You know, that one. Like, this is a human like me. And this is how the code of ethics dictates this is how we should treat them. Like the other person who would come here and feel that we align or we are the same. So an empowerment for me means a queer person goes to a healthcare facility, they get treated like the human being that they are. I go to an institution, let's say a school, I get accepted, admitted, and treated like any other normal human being. The abnormal thing that people want to normalize means there's no empowerment, not only for queer persons, but also for the other people, I mean, the other general community or more population that are not queer. Yeah.
And in your work, Kelvin, Jerry, themselves, yeah?
I think I agree with what Kate is saying. However, I would like to incorporate the idea of what if we learned to question religion to the extent of, now I'm bringing a story. Something
Oh
funny.
my God.
Say it out.
Something funny happened the other day. I was going to my house. Then I meet a bunch of guys, like around 6, and they were so angry. I didn't know them, but I think from the way they were acting, they knew who I am. So they're so angry. They were, "Mbona anajilegeza huyu?" And to be honest, I feel like I'm in my masculine era, so I don't know what they were looking at. And they were so angry.
Kazana. Walikuwa hukazane.
And napita, and then just when I was about to past them, they're like, "Where jikaze?" Now I learned, oh, they're talking to me. Swahili sometimes can be a little bit tricky. I would be thinking they were talking amongst themselves. Kumbe they're talking about me, and only for me to realize wakati nishafika hapo. They're so angry. But fast forward, they started running after me, throwing stones. Now the final thing that I heard one of the guys say is, "We don't want you here. You're causing drought." And mark you, it had rained
Just the other day.
It had not the other day, the previous night. Wow. Even when I'm running away from this crowd, I'm trying to escape
the
puddles.
mud.
Exactly. And I'm like, can you see how people have been brainwashed?
True.
To the extent of they forget you are a human being, that you are normal, you're just a being with different sexuality, and they think you are causing harm indirectly or somehow and making their lives difficult. How do you explain someone accusing me of causing drought and it is raining? Like literally, I was left.
Make it make sense.
Exactly. Now, the final thing was, if we were able to reach people, and empowerment for me would mean even the lowest person can reason before accusing. Like, you don't just start, wewe mbona unakaa hivyo? You understand? Like, I shouldn't meet Kate and be like, I should be smart enough, or not even smart, cognizant enough to be like, maybe I could talk to Kate and understand. Also, shouldn't I question, why am I so angry at Kate? Na
Question
simjui.
yourself. That
Exactly.
is, yeah.
So empowerment would mean people can question. Think fast. I've seen Astrias. She looks like this. Why am I feeling whatever I'm feeling, right? Because at this moment, it's about you. It's not about Astrias. So for me, that's empowerment. And if we have people questioning religion, because to be honest, for me, I just feel macho watu wamefungwa. It's a religion.
Yeah. And the fear, maybe to add on Jerry's point, empowerment means, where is your fear coming from? Because I believe a lot of people out here be castigating others, I mean, dehumanizing others, you know, perpetrating others because they have the fear in themselves. I don't know about what, that you feel threatened by just a person living and existing for who they are. I mean, why are you fearful? What is making you fearful? Because where does the fear come from? Because ukiambia mtu ndio maana akuonyeshi, ndio maana sijui kuna nini, like make it make sense. Make it make sense. Ni kusoma hujasoma, ni kuelewa huelewi, you know? And even that Bible, as a Christian, even that Bible, so ujisome kidogo, na ujitafsirie, so that you make that decision from an informed point, not ile kwamba Now, don't tell us about your religion leader told you or said or inasema. And even when you quote the Bible, we quote it from a point of understanding. Don't quote it from a point of ilisema and then ilisema baada hiyo verse ilisema nini na hiyo verse wewe because Biblia inasema tusome tujitafsirie. Kwa nini wewe unajitafsiria to suit you ujitafsirie to suit everyone?
So it's always being used for convenience.
Because when it's convenient to you, then this is the way. When it's not convenient, then it's not the way.
Because I too recall the conversations around decriminalization in Gabon. And to make you understand from the African perspective, they used their culture. They said that sisi hatuna shida na homosexuality. We have been coexisting with the homosexuals since time at the beginning. Why then do we need to uphold the colonial draconian laws, which was actually imposed by the French? It was not imposed. We were not even consulted.
Yeah.
You needed to add something?
No. When you've said about the laws, and I think I mentioned something, I'll have just remembered this king from Uganda who was openly gay.
Kabaka.
Not Kabaka.
Mutesa one. Mwanga,
if I'm not
Kabaka
wrong.
Mwanga.
Yes. And until the colonialists came and disrupted and used him, I mean, when people say the downfall of that kingdom was because of him being gay, no?
Yeah, I have heard of that story.
Yeah.
So it was a push and pull between the Christians and the Muslim, because actually he did convert to Islam. And so, now that, because we have had quite influential leaders since time memorial whose sexuality were not within the binary. Yeah. Maybe
people should also visit Egypt and see those drawings.
Yeah. The Egyptians said, I do love Egyptian stories. I do love. At times I just sit and then there is this can I call it a documentary in the Deutsche Welle by Kaz? Like she looks at sexuality and sexual orientation from each and every region in West Africa, in South Africa, in Eastern Africa, and also in Central Africa. So myself, a name that has always been stuck in my head is the Gurjigan. The Gurjigan are kind of gender non-conforming in the Senegalese society. But they were castigated based on the laws that were imposed. But swali ni, do we really know when the French decriminalized homosexuality in their own country? It was in the 1700s. Yeah, it was decriminalized, but not enshrined in law. But you couldn't even be arrested because you are a homosexual. Under the third revolution, the third fighting for the republic. Yeah.
So what happened in between? The question that we need to ask ourselves.
The missionaries and the sheikhs, and myself. Now, maybe from your perspective.
There's something Kujia, when you guys were talking, and I realized people don't even question that the Bible was brought to us by the white person.
They don't. And you see, I have a very hard time having conversation with people who are extreme religious because I'm like, why are you not questioning? I mean, I go to church. I participate in a lot of things in church. But I'm also very programmed. I know I know there are toes I'll step on. So there are things that
You're like,
just frown and say, no, you're not getting me there. I even had a clash. I was doing confirmation classes. And then our catechist was trying to tell us, oh, women, I don't know, the submission things. And I'm like, no, as a feminist, don't tell us that. Don't tell us about people kneeling and praying for their spouses. What are their spouses doing? I mean, don't tell, the small things that you want to us to learn so that you can have the power over us. I think that is why they use the religion, the colonialist, so that they will have power over us. And if you say this is, unajua amesema hii ni mbaya, na akisema ni mbaya, ni mbaya, si ndio? Even when they wrote the Bible and rewrote, because we have a very, very different version. Kuliko ile ambao wanasema ni ya kitambo, which means why did they remove those other verses? Or chapters.
So the point is conveniency. If it does not fit our paradigm,
no,
let's do this way and that way. Yes, Jerry, you need to come in.
Wanjiru has covered. Wanjiru has covered that point, but that's what I was stuck on. People do not even question where these things come from. And Mark, those who say we are an African, look at what they are wearing. How much of what they are wearing is made in Africa? Not even brought, made, because we have people who make clothes in Kenya. Most of us don't buy from those people. Most of our clothes are Turkey, Japan, Jamaica,
Louis Vuitton, Chanel.
I know. And do you see the excitement of Rihanna and Fenty. My God, I shouldn't be. But do you see the excitement of an outsider is coming to open a luxurious brand, and within a few months, within a few moments, it may hit. If us just came up with a brand, of course, I know Rihanna is a big name. However, I also recognize that the privilege of coming, bringing it to Africans. And I have a problem with that. Africans tend to just believe whatever has been brought is the best. Watu wengi hata wanunui ile mafuta ya kukamua, which is actually made in Kenya. They would go for the other ones, because now ukiuliza, the chances are they feel like that is better.
The thing, yeah. You are modernized, wewe umekuwa tu uko kwa click, I agree with you. Ni ule president wapi, is it also Senegal, when he wore the own African attire to a state function, and there was a lot of backlash, and people didn't even understand that is their traditional, highly regarded attire, and it was the right place for him to adorn it. But because we want to be so westernized, he wore a suit. Why do we say when ni Pan-African? What shows when ni Pan-African, for example? Even feminists, I'm sorry to say this, even feminists who do not, I may look biased, and forgive me also as a feminist, I'm trying to relearn a lot of things, and even the dress code that I want to wear.
Yeah.
What Pan-Africanism in you does it show, even from your clothing? Ningo gani? Even like, for example, in Kenya, we're losing our culture, design kwamba si watu wako wanatembea na mango zao za mashuka kama Wamasai, zile za nini. Why are we not making them like that? Ndio?
Yeah. So we have castigated our history, our historicity, our sexual diversity, our gender diversity,
our culture,
to a point that the victors, who are the Arabs and the Europeans, rewrote our history. Na sisi tumesema, yes boy, yes sir, we are here. So we need to reclaim our Africanness, the queer identity, such that we are seeing that we are here, we are queer, and we are here.
And we exist.
Because I am seeing, I don't know, this could be controversial, but what do these organizations, the Christian evangelicals from the United States, doing in West Africa? Yeah?
Oh, the conference.
The conference. Yeah? Like
they have brought liberation.
They have people to save in Africa.
And
they have saved everyone in
they have saved. You know,
They want to save us.
Yeah.
honestly speaking, as Africans and as African countries, we need to stand foot on the ground and say that if we do not want what we now the boogeyman is neocolonialism, but then when it comes to LGBTQI, we are ready to accept them into our spaces and pass draconian laws. Like I was reading the news yesterday with Senegal increasing the penalty to now 14 years. Actually,
Against homosexuality.
yes.
Oh.
Has it passed?
Yes.
Oh my God.
In Senegal, not Ghana, in Senegal.
Yes, I'm following you.
Yes.
It's Senegal.
In Senegal, actually, the prime minister, after assuming office, what did he do? A legislature against the homosexual. I'm like, can't we just fight for our African development?
Is there maybe a platform we could get maybe some leaders to really explain what is it that people, what is this thing you have against homosexuality or homosexual people? What is that need that a country can hold so much that the first thing a leader gets into power? And you see, that's the funniest thing. You would think it's only affecting Africa. It's only that when it comes to Africa, Africans tend to become violent. However, it is affecting even the Western countries where we are apparently, we know where we learned it from. But I would want to know, what is this need? What is the agenda behind we hate homosexuals? Because unless you want, I think the most peaceful societies in the world are people who've learned to actually live peacefully with LGBTQ persons.
Yeah. And I agree with you because I look at Southeast Asian countries like Thailand, the lady boy, they have been there. And
they do exist, and
I know.
Attack a lady boy in Thailand, and the whole society will jump on you.
I know.
Wait,
Hijras.
There's something you say.
Yeah.
Attack one, and
Attack
the
one,
whole society. What
and the whole society
do you
attacks
think?
you.
Maybe. Do you think that's the criteria we should?
Perhaps, because you see, Thailand was also colonized. Yeah. But what did they do with their culture? They really reclaimed it back. In that today, if you are to go to Thailand, you utapata mtu anakuambia, I am lady boy, I am trans, I am gay, I am lesbian, and it is not frowned upon at higher level as we are experiencing it here in the African countries, including in places where decriminalization has happened. In Botswana, the bishops were out protesting, demonstrating against the decriminalization. I was like, yo, we need just to pull back.
Yeah, and it's so unfortunate because let's say in South Africa, with all the liberation that they have, if queer people get killed, I mean, our own Imam, Mohsen, was just up to now, they have not yet had justice. The perpetrators have never been caught. And that is South Africa, where even gay marriages, and he was going to officiate a gay marriage. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, what is it? What is aching you? What is your fear for you to feel that I need to harm this person, I need to kill this person for them, aniondoke, asikae karibu na mimi, or asikuwe hata jirani yangu, ama akiwa hata ni mtoto wangu ni muue. Like, is there something that we are not addressing? Are there traumas that we need to address for us to feel that we need to exist with each other peacefully? I mean,
it's the conditioning that we have been taken through over centuries or even decades.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. The conditioning that Astrias is talking about, I've just realized, do you guys remember the shows I was watching them, the soap operas, but from Philippines? Do you realize they always had either a very feminine man
always
character?
they will have a gay
exactly.
Yeah, always.
Unlike the ones from now, the Western countries, which were always about a man and a woman star marrying and all that. I think the idea of what are we not doing is that Philippines chose to show this is normal. Why? What are you frowning about? And putting them on national, because I believe that's
it
like
was national
TV, yeah.
Meaning even children there
will
learn
watch.
that this is a human being. They should be respected. They can have a career. They can be any other thing apart from this sexuality.
Yeah.
So that's what we are lacking. We've been conditioned to hate, and we are lacking the channels to express love and existence of LGBTQ persons.
So on that, you need to
Does
comment?
it also come from us also being conditioned not to talk about sex? And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, because when you talk about queer persons, it's always about the sex. But I'm just putting it in a context of heterosexuals, where sex is a taboo. We do not discuss, what it entails for two people to have consented sex, consensual sex. Your parents, kuna watu wanasemaga I've never seen even my parents kissing, but I'm just thinking, hizo vitu zenye tunafungilia, zenye zinatikana the behind the scenes are also which inform sometimes the things that we also feel should not be
out there.
Kuna mahali unaambiwa ati hatuna shida na nyinyi, lakini msituonyeshe.
Kwanza, I hate such kind of line. I hate such honestly speaking, let me now give my lived reality. In high school, I was doing good or great in CRE until that madam came and under social evils put homosexuality there. I clashed with the madam. I was like, no. Homosexuality is not a social evil. We are using the Bible. The Bible says, the Quran also says, and I was miming to a kikiere. If I know something, and I'm very much opined, by the way. I'm very much opined. If I know something, I know something. So I was telling them that it is not. Homosexuality is very innate in human beings. Like you will find it across diverse animals. I just the other day, I think it was in those times that the gay lions was it in Masai Mara?
That was a famous thing that happened in this country by then.
So I was like, so do you know whom they blamed? The tourists. The Wazungu tourists are the ones who are having gay sex in this. I was like, no.
I want to add something on that, on the animal things.
So I clashed with the madam, like, the back and forth. Mpaka akaniambia, get out of my class.
You evil spirit.
Get out of my class. And believe you me, I dropped CRE.
Oh my God.
I was very good in CRE. But you see, our educational system has been also conditioned now with the people who do not think outside the box. I do say this. If you are going to use Quran or use the Bible, honey, let me ask you one question. Those are not our histories. Yeah, Quran was written for the Arabs because that was the environment where the evils were happening. Okay, the Bible was written in the context of the Jews. Look at Israel. Yeah, like you find Israel is said that it is the pride of a Middle East, but those ones are the originators of the Bible that we are using to actually dehumanize, castigate, perpetuate violence amongst our people. Even your brother, you are pushing this brother out.
Yeah, let's go back to our own history. Like I'm pretty sure that we have those books from our own 1901 century, 19 whatever century, so that then we compare. I wanted to add something on the lion thing, and when people really don't want to learn, the peacock. The male peacock.
Is the most beautiful.
Flamboyant.
Feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? You know, yeye ndo kuna ile maua mazuri do people know that?
They don't.
Unaongelelea
And they,
peacock.
yes.
It's every animal. You go to all
nasema
the
tu,
animals.
if you go to, now do you
The
know they
male
also
species is the
they
best.
also have relationship with each other, the male. So please.
I want to correct
Yes.
something. I've said that in animals, the male species is the best. That's not what I meant. But in features of beauty, in terms of nails, in terms of hair, in terms of feathers, in terms of fur, the male species has, I don't know, they are the most attractive in terms of eye. When you see what attracts you, even in cuckoo, cock. Well, I wanted to say cuckoo so that I can't say. So I say cock. The cock is the most majestic animal. Like when you look at the females, they're not very. They're trying.
They're not attractive.
So I also wanted to jump in on, you talked about sex. Of course, sex is one of those hindrances into achieving LGBTQ freedom, because people think I'm prudent, then I'm going to heaven, right? I'm very good. I'm not having sex. I'm not having sex with other men or with other women. I'm not having sex outside of marriage. I'm not. But they use sex as the weapon of you either go to heaven or you go to hell. So when you speak about it, you're automatically going to hell, because how can you have the courage to speak about sex? That means you are unclean. And then it comes to, if you're gay, you must be having sex with men, which is anal sex. Now that also leaves me, if a queer person is celibate, should they communicate that they are celibate to maybe allow for peace during the celibate period, and then we can come back to chaos when
they start being active now.
Yeah, but
when they're on a sabbatical,
please
spare me.
give me some peace.
Yeah.
I'm not having sex, but when I do, I'll come back. And so you realize homophobia is funny. Even the issue of school. Like, who decided that anyone can teach religion? Religion is a weapon that has been given to weirdest of people. Someone is teaching, for example, your teacher. That teacher was teaching their belief system.
The belief.
But they force it. For example, Kenda, from high school, you left knowing God is a jealous God. God is sijui what God. But imagine God being jealous. How do you even, what? Would God kill Kate and leave me because I'm better than Kate? It didn't make sense. But I'm saying religion is a weapon in all the wrong hands. Even teachers. Yeah.
So then, how then can we as Africans reclaim the values of our ancestors? Yeah, the values of compassion, the values of community, and the Ubuntu. Yeah, in conversations about human rights, human dignity with regards to the LGBTQI persons. Maybe I'll start with you.
Okay. Yeah. How to reclaim our dignity.
Yes.
I would say it starts with conversation. For example, the issue about the sex talk. Look at the younger generation and how open-minded they are. But you will find that they make sex jokes all the time. Like they will just be joking and a sex joke comes up. Nobody gets angry. The generation also knows that my dress does not represent who I am. So we need to go back to our people and talk to them about what I am wearing, how I talk, or how I behave is a very tiny expression of who I am. It's very tiny. Me having done my nails is just for beauty. It's not even an identity thing. If gay people don't necessarily do their nails, gay people don't necessarily wear feminine clothes. So we need to go back and make it clear because it's clarity that is lacking.
True.
Huku nje, people accuse you of weird things. Unashindwa, how can you accuse me of that just because of my sexuality? But it's clarity. They don't have it. They think you don't deserve life. You don't deserve anything good in your existence. But I do, because maybe I go to church. Maybe I go to the mosque. Maybe I do things. You see, also the rituals that religion has also brainwashed people to think when you do them, for example, people who think you can wear long dresses, cover something. That those people who do that genuinely believing they're going to heaven, they end up being very frustrated because it's not going to work for you. And when you see a queer person existing freely and maybe enjoying life, you're like, why is God not making? I find
they should be suffering.
So we need to go back to the idea of make it clear, make sexuality clear, make gender identity and expression clear, make sex and sex activities clear. Then remove shame in teaching. We need to teach teachers, especially in school, to remove shame in teaching. You cannot teach anyone when you are shaming them.
True.
You can't. And you see homosexual children, unfortunately, I don't know if there's such a thing. What I remember going through in high school and primary school was shame. Wewe mbona usimami hivi? Why are you walking like that? Why are you standing like that? Mbona unajifanya msichana? And you see now, in real sense, you see when I'm being told that, it is because it is also insinuated that I am a man and I should be better.
We should man up.
Misogynistic behavior is also still coming in. Apo. You are a man, behave better. And that is a woman teaching me to behave. So we need to go back. Kila kitu. I feel like the world is actually upside down.
It is.
Everything needs just to be taught again or anything changed. Something.
It is. And I agree with you about beauty. Yeah. If you look at the diverse ethnic tribes in Africa, you find that the men were actually going for beauty. You look at the Maasai and the red ochres. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And even
and then you look at it, I wonder like, wow, they are popping. Go to the Wolof tribe in West Africa. Actually, the men were painting themselves. Yeah,
even the marks they used to do.
The marks, and then go to Egypt, ancient Egypt. Yeah,
the men and their gold.
Look at the men with the gold and the mascaras. Yeah,
the mascaras.
The mascaras.
Popping. Yeah? And I'm
like
even the high heel, if I interject, was a man's shoe initially.
Yeah.
To portray power.
Yeah. So I agree with you that we need to have these conversations from the African context. We cannot be talking about Ubuntu while we are segregating people of our own skin color. Yes, racism exists, but now we need to be biased. Yeah, you find a fellow African castigating you simply because you are queer, and then goes to the podium in the United Nations and then speaks about Pan-Africanism while you anakupiga vinavita vibaya sana.
I won't mention names, but I have seen one of those people who is very vocal in Pan-Africanism matters. And I have sat in a space where they said being queer is unnatural and it doesn't make sense. They even proceeded to say that some truths, if they are true, meaning because you see there is a person challenging them in that setup. And like if that is a truth, then it should be a hidden truth. And I'm left wondering, why is my sexuality, why is it that it should be the hidden truth and yours, one that you're proud of and advertising everywhere and expecting that everyone has to follow that line? So even leaders who advocate for Pan-Africanism, if anyone suggests that an African person should be harmed, even a single African person, then that person cannot be called a Pan-Africanism, whatever. They have failed.
Yeah, they failed. Yes, Avanjiko.
The word Ubuntu, first of all, before we reclaim, the word Ubuntu is about humanity collectively without leaving anyone behind. And we cannot say that we are an Ubuntu family, community, but we are segregating others. There's nothing like that. Then we should just do away with the Ubuntu. Just say we just here, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. How are we going to reclaim? I'm also going to agree with Kevin. We need to go back to the drawing board and start telling stories from our own perspective, our own culture, our own history. And I'm also thinking that Australia should bring all the queer persons in this podcast, so that they share their stories, they share their journeys. They also know, I think, and I believe they have a lot of history that made sustain them throughout this long. Because I mean, they're resilient. Where was it coming from? Because they also knew or know of other older queer person who also paved some way for them, for all of us as on this journey of liberation. Let's demystify the myths, the narrative that has been running for so long about queer persons, about homosexuals, that is brought by other people. The same way wanatuletea pia hii wanatuletea hii digital storytelling ndio nafanya, venye tu Kevin anasema, can we teach from a point of knowledge, not a point of fear, not a point of being told that this is bad, but that this is not the way, that's with things like this did not exist, or people ABCD ambayo ni stories za urongo. Sasa sisi wenyewe kwa wenyewe, let's come up with these stories, let's demystify these narratives, this manake mimi nasemaga pia hizo ni myths. Ukituambia kwamba na nikikwambia wewe go down the rabbit hole, kwa unaona watu wanaendaga kwa hizo pyramids huko Egypt, wanaenda kusoma hizo. Unajua ni vile tu huko Kenya we do not have like a place like that where people drew their stories, because when they could not write, they were drawing stories. Go down that rabbit hole, Google, because watu wameka ma videos and everything. Read about that history, and that Egypt was in Africa. Iko wapi? Si ni Africa.
It's in Africa.
It's still in Africa.
And it will forever be in Africa.
Story ya huyo Mutesa, I'm forgetting. Yeah, the Ugandan king. It is still in Africa. They are our neighbors. Yeah. Hapa in a Kenyan context. The Ameru, their spiritual healing leader who was respected, accepted in the community. The Kikuyu, the Nandi, the Akamba who will marry fellow women, I mean, do your own research and then act from an informed point, so that at the end of the day, tuko aligned and we understand, accept each other. And then I don't think after that we'll feel a need to feel intimidated nikikuwa nimekaa karibu na Austrias, nikikuwa ama Austrias akikuwa jirani yangu, ama akikuwa mwalimu wa mtoto wangu shuleni, au akikuwa daktari wangu, unaelewa?
Yeah. So we need I agree with you that we need to claim back our culture, and our culture starts from language, the language that we use. Because if you look keenly across all African languages, we do not have that gender apartheid pronouns like nini. Like in Swahili, there is no he, she, they. There is nothing like that.
There's only a human being.
There's only a human being. Alikuja, alienda, ama we say the name. Then you look at also Luo. There is no that gender apartheid language. It is the togetherness. Yeah. You look at Kikuyu. True. I am yet to hear a single word or a pronoun used to refer to a woman. No, it's always that togetherness. The lawyer. Yeah, like we need to claim our language. You see, when the Arab colonizers and the European came, the first thing that they denied us was to speak our language. Yeah,
that's the first thing they stole.
Even today in school, mother tongue is not allowed.
I know.
Mother tongue is not allowed.
They made it seem like when you use your mother tongue, although you see sometimes also the mentality of they I don't know who made us believe that English was the brightest language. Anyone? Have you heard Kikuyu? It has the most intricate. Luo itself, you could literally drop your tongue while trying to say something. English is so simple so easy on the tongue. Wait, I want to jump into a point you've said about culture.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the point most people use against queer people. Now, when we come to an African context, I think we need to encourage people to look at how hateful is your language. For example, how hateful can Luo be unless you start now making up the words. Because it's very difficult to abuse a queer person in a language unless you've brought some other few words.
You've borrowed few words hapa na pale.
Because the language itself was supposed to develop into love, into understanding, and it also was meant to allow you to identify yourself. So, for example, if I'm talking to you and I've not identified myself in Kikuyu, eventually I have to say maybe nie demotumia, nie demoturi. I'm the one introducing and identifying myself. But any other way you refer to me will not allow you to use any pronouns. So you will only be looking at me as Kelvin or from a point of that person. It's always that person, that person. So anyone who is African and is claiming that it is against their culture, they should remember that culture is made by people. Tumekuwa tukicircumcise girls and most people will. I was shocked, as I grew up, I thought they keep saying circumcising girls is wrong. Why is it that people are still doing it?
Yeah.
And then I was taught that people will hold on to something so dearly that it is not even the practice of it, it is the identity that they hold when that thing is being performed. So you find a mother who is struggling because they underwent FGM. They are struggling, but they will force their child to go through the same process because the identity behind the process means their daughter is now a woman. So when we come to culture, let us also encourage people to look at, is this harmful?
Yeah.
Can I call this culture when it is actually encouraging me to hate, to lie? That cannot be culture because it's going to destroy you as a people also.
True. And I agree with you that on matters of culture, we really need to bring it to our fold and question. You see, like in my university, me, I've been out ever since. Honey, honey, I am here to slay. Honey, I be dripping sauce and popping up flavor.
Of course.
Everywhere.
As it is supposed to be.
So my lecturer at the university, I was like, in my lawyer culture, people like you, we used to roll them in the Kizimbanyuke. And then we throw them down the hill. And then I was like, hold on a minute. I have history. My history equals sour. My father did not tell me that. My aunties did not tell me that. I've never had, and yet they know me, I'm feminine. And I've been wearing lipstick since I dabbed into my mother's high heels, baby. So I fail to understand where this is coming from.
Are they lying?
Could be they were lying. But you see, also, cultural perspective is also diverse. Yeah. You will come to the Eluya culture and then you find the Isoha. They have their own traditions. You go to the Bukusu, they have their own traditions. Like also the Gema. Yeah. And one thing that I have always asked around, the Mugumo tree. Why is it? Where did that rumor come
the
from?
Kikuyu culture where we used to be told ukizunguka the
Nana
Mugumo tree.
Marasaba and then you change.
Tena, it is not Kikuyu only. Even the Kamba have that the stone where you also if you go
Has
around.
It ever worked? Has anyone experienced?
That is
you see, for such kind of a story to exist, because it is not an issue yenye ni Njeri ama ni Wanjiku ndio walianza kusema jana. No, it was stated by our ancestors. Have we ever sat down and questioned ourselves? Because if it is a rumor, then it has some truth in it. And why was it believed?
Do you think maybe that was an activist? For example, maybe it was a transgender person who maybe by good luck was sitting under a Mugumo tree and then someone was trying to ask them, why are you like this? And there was, I went around this.
7 times. And then things turned.
And they saved themselves like that. They were like, it's not my fault. It's the tree's fault.
I maybe to ride on whatever your professor said. And I'm saying like how patterns, narratives run tena quickly, like a fire. If they told you that and you did not question it, then now tell me about those who accepted it as the truth because our professor said so, and then they run with that narrative.
Like the pedagogy in our education system is really wanting.
But I also think, I also want to know that, I mean, let us see from Kwamba, he acknowledged that queer person existed.
Because we have been in existence.
I know, like, kama walikuweko mkawazungusha chini na nyuki, kwa hivyo walikuweko.
And they knew
Kwa hivyo
that
walikuweko.
means they even knew huyo ni nani huyo tunarusha basi
Huko
kwa
kwa
mti.
nini? Yeah.
So maybe as we are wrapping it up, so now maybe from your own human rights work, what are the progress and lessons that have emerged over the years of advocacy and community organizing?
Progress one. Audrey
Mbogo.
That is progress. I mean,
Yeah, it's true.
for her to be able to change her name and be identified to who she wants to be, that is progress, because I believe some few years back that would not have happened.
True.
Repeal 162. Organization to register who they are. That was a win. That is a progress. Another progress is us sitting here and having this conversation.
Yeah.
This is progress. I mean, there are setbacks sometimes. There are disappointments sometimes. It is a lot of work. It is heavy. But when you are able to speak your mind out, celebrate, let's say, like pride, that is progress. I mean, we are not yet there, but I believe that we have made milestones for us to be here.
Yeah. And I agree with you. You see, I have friends all over Africa. Let me brag about that. And
international.
I am that international homosexual transgender woman. Hello. So, they do say that Kenyans, you are far better. Especially in North African countries, they look at Kenya and they're like, wow.
Yeah, Europe.
And then you come to Central Africa and then you're like, wow. Tanzania, of all countries.
The places.
They look at, mimi nataka kufika Kenya. Ushoga uko uhuru Kenya. And then you sit back and you say, our human rights defender, our activists, the people who came before us had fought for these rights, they need to be actually commemorated and honored deeply.
Truly.
Because without them, we wouldn't have reached this space that we are. And also with the drafters of the Constitution 2010, they did a marvelous job. Yes.
A marvelous job.
Now, maybe to you, now what are the progress and the lessons that you have learned in your human rights work and defending?
Thank you. Without jumping on what Kate has already said, the milestones have been great. And seeing this country gradually, actually, it has been a gradual process. I mean, I might not have been there for a long time, but I am queer and I can feel even the energy around the people I'm around. It has been gradual, but we have risen so far, right? To an extent of, right now, the law is actually on our side. We have precedents on where we can stand as LGBTQ persons.
True.
The lessons have also been there. On a personal level, I've learned that it is also queer people's work to educate, to teach with understanding and with compassion. I know the hate out here is crazy. I believe I can see there are people who out there are, I don't know, I think wanakuanga wamefunzwa very weird things. So they are always carrying hate and they want to transfer it to you. Unfortunately or fortunately, if you're queer, nobody else know. Nobody else knows your. As I can look at you, but I do not really know what your queerness or your transgender
Of course, yes.
is, right? So that falls on you to now teach and educate others as to this is who I am and this is what I expect from the society. It's a journey for us to get there, but that is the lesson I have seen. That even us as queer people, we need to rise, encourage queer people to rise. Everywhere I go, tell people, rise. The reason we are also here, not forgetting that even those who did not make it to the highest level, they are content creators huku chini. Wametuinua. Anyone who has been free enough to go on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere, and post even a single picture showing this is authenticity, this is who I am, that person has also helped us.
Yeah.
So the lesson is, calmly, we will get there. Slowly, we will get there. However, we will also have to teach with compassion and understanding. We also need numbers. We need, if you're a queer person, and I don't know how many queer people will watch this, if you're queer, you need to also authentically identify yourself. That way, if your neighbor, for example, where I live, if my neighbors are aware of who I am and they respect me, if Astrias visits or passes by, they will not bother with Astrias because I've already done the job of, their mind is aware, oh, there is something different. So if we get queer people who are able to also teach on the ground, teach your neighbors, help them understand queerness is not sinning, it's not hizo vitu zote wanasema, it's not a curse. Oh, I grew up thinking, by the way, it's a curse. Do you know, they had told me that it is a generational curse that jumps from father to son, and I was wondering, what did my father do? What did my father really do for me to actually be born?
You're paying for the sins of your father.
My father. No, for me now, as we move forward, if we are finding a way to destroy, not demystify, destroy these myths, misconceptions, that will be great for me.
It would be great for you.
Yeah.
Mnendo, you have stated something now, which is a very much of importance. You see, in the advent of TikTok in Kenya, yeah, makuchu walikuwa wengi, and people were like, kwani makuchu wamejaa hii Kenya hivi?
Wamemwagwa na feri.
Hawa watu wanalipwa. You see, that in its own was us reclaiming the spaces.
Yeah.
That one in its own was a form of advocacy. Inafika na mpaka mtu anasema dunia iishe, Mungu arudi sasa, because sasa mumejia
watu wako.
and then there is somebody who replied that enyewe ni sisi ndiye tuko, nyinyi endeni binguni, sisi tutabaki humu.
We will enjoy ourselves.
Yes, we will
more.
enjoy. Yeah. And also on the legal landscape, the progress, especially by Center for Minority Rights and Strategic Litigation in partnership with PEMA Kenya, we petitioned the courts against the incitement of violence against the LGBTQI persons. You see, and the courts had us. So it means that we are actually reaching there in matters of justice. The disconnect only comes in, of which it is a lesson that we should be able to learn. The legislative now, wale MPs, akina nani na mwajijua vizuri.
Yeah?
Wow. Yeah. So and these are the progress that we have had since 2010 is very immense.
It is.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It is
great growth.
Yeah.
Ilenye, akina Coin Chorus can walk in Nairobi CBD with lipstick and hair so huku.
Wafanye TikTok hapo kwa street.
That is good freedom. Imagine that existing. You're just existing. Because even if you're flamboyant, who exactly are you harming?
No.
You're just being, literally. You're just being. Queer people are just being. It seems that bothers a lot of people. They do not like it when we are just being. They don't like it at all.
Yeah. So the real progresses are there. And maybe my last question, maybe just a moment here, will be we have allies, yeah,
Yes.
when in our organizing, we bring them into our spaces, the faith engagements, the advocacy, the what do we call it?
Healthcare workers.
Healthcare workers, you see, the judiciary.
Yeah.
Local
So
administrators, all of them.
is there what role can they play better, or what role do they play better in advancing the principles of inclusion and equality?
What role do they play better?
Yes, like what role can they do better, because we have them in our spaces already. Yeah, there are some who are really out there, and there are some who are taking baby steps, of which we understand. Yeah? So maybe from your own perspectives, is there any critical role that they can be able to play that part of to bring in the principles of inclusion and equality much better for the advancement of LGBTQI persons' human rights?
I could go. I can go first. Allies, first of all, allow me to say thank you. Allies are awesome people. I mean, being gay and knowing the struggles I went through before I came out and fully said, you know what? I will love myself even in this. I actually looked up and said, God, if you're very angry that I am gay, it's your problem now. For I was really struggling ile point ya kila mtu ashakwambia you're not this is not good. And I find that one person told me, it's a preacher. Actually. Oh, yes, it was a person who I'm not sure he's a preacher, but they had gone to theology school. I had not even come out. I was working. This person was drinking, and they told me. We talked, and eventually they said, Kelvin, even if you want to wear a pink, I don't know where that came from. Even if you want to wear a pink, hizi nini zinaitangwaje, the skin tights zenye ladies wear, like leggings. Are they leggings?
Leggings, yeah.
Even if you want to wear a pink legging and walk all over this resort, I would still be very proud of you. And this is a person I had not told I'm queer. I was not, I always believe that when people are profiling you into being queer or not, they either use your clothes or your appearance. I'm wearing my uniform. So I'm thinking maybe my talking. But this person had it in them to tell me, no matter what you wear, I don't care. And you see, they had started by telling me they have done theology. Because this person was smart enough to know that if they told me that, I would think they're above me, right?
Yeah.
They have done theology, so they should be better than me. But after they told me that, they went ahead and said, and as I know you, you shouldn't be worried that I have done theology. That is just studies. He also might have said that because I was judging him for drinking alcohol, having done theology. You see, so if our allies were able to not only encourage us, the people that we have engaged, but if they were to go out there and maybe spread a seed, and people underestimate how changing, maybe helping one person can affect the world. If you're able to just go and encourage one other queer person and tell them, it's okay, I don't care, it doesn't matter, just be you. And you don't have to promise them that the world is fine. Just tell them, in this capacity, I do not care. And if they're able to talk on behalf, you see, also talking on behalf of us might be a little bit tricky. But if you found an ally who is able to just say a nice thing, even in the face of a crowd. You see, sometimes that is where the challenges are. There's a crowd, it's questioning us, what is this here? And oh God, is it? Sometimes when I look at what the crowd complains about, I worry so much for them.
It's
because
nonsensical things.
why are you worried about my hair? Is it the money? What is exactly anyway?
Poverty is the enemy.
I worry for them because as you condemn a queer person like that, you're also claiming some weird energy for yourself. So I do worry for them But what I was saying is, if our allies would speak for us a little bit more, that would be nice. However, if we got them to encourage those who speak against us to not speak, not to even support us, to not speak against us.
Yes, Wanjiru.
Who are moved.
Kevin has stated it the way I would have put it, but I also want to add, an ally who affirms you. I'm also going to share something a little bit. A friend of mine shared that their brother, without them disclosing that I am a queer person, but your brother only sees you with a certain, of the same gender, told them you should do you, and nobody, no one should question it. As long as you're okay with it, as long as you're healthy, as long as hiyo ni maisha yako, do you, and mimi, I will always be here to support you. Imagine that, your own brother. So when you say it starts gradually, now from your brother to your parents, your siblings, your relatives, affirming you, then where will that community that castigates or violates each others be? Kutakuwa hakuna. We'll not have to have legislatures putting impunitive laws for us. Will not have religious leaders, preaching fire and what, for the homosexuals, because everybody will be aligned in a way that it is okay. You are safe. You are loved both at home and outside. We will not have queer persons who are homeless or who did not go to school because they were excommunicated from their own families or from school because of them being queer, We will not have those. Ati wao hata wasomage waendagi shuleni. No, we will not have them being kicked out of their ancestral home because they are going to bring sijui bad luck. That is allyship starting from your
ndani kwa familia.
And then it spreads.
It spreads like a flower blooming.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now personally, I can say with as we celebrate Pride and we come to a close to the allies. Personally, I will say thank you so much for the partnership and the allyship and those who are with us in the streets, tukipiga makelele. Yeah. And those who are with us spiritually, those who are with us in the courts, that representation and visibility. I am not queer, but you cannot touch a queer person in front of me. When you do that, somebody will step back and say, kwani wewe pia ni moja wao? And then I come and tell you that, no, but our constitution states human dignity is paramount. Yeah. And maybe our closing remarks. So what hope... what sustains your hope and commitments in human rights work? Sure. No.
So, Mike, what keeps me going?
What sustains your hope and commitment in LGBTQI human rights?
First of all, is just by looking at myself. I have come from far. My God, from a time I used to hear the word gay and shiver. To a point where once someone asked me, are you gay? And I denied it so much. If denying was a solution, believe me, I would be heterosexual. Right now, though, I walk, my family knows I'm queer. Everyone around me, I try not to rub it. I don't know why people call it rubbing it. When I'm being authentic, I'm just being authentic. And I've learned to be authentic. I've learned to do the things that make me happy that I couldn't do before. I used to just wonder what, and you see, there's this prison of what will people think? What will people say? So my progress, by what sustained me and keeps me going, is looking at my progress and realizing that most of it would also have not come had I not jumped into the human rights world. I would not have learned anything that I know today had I not been in the queer movement for championing rights and inclusion. I've also learned that queer people have voices. Kitambo used to think a queer person akiguzwa anafaa ajifiche, abadilishe behavior, change the way they dress because they need to protect themselves. But learning that queer people can speak, report, and get justice, that keeps me going. That encourages me, because if we are at this level where we can get 3 out of 10 people to be able to report and get justice, then that means if we keep going, 5, 7, like that eventually. And also hoping that one day I can just walk kwa streets ni
you yourself
hold,
authentically.
and if I will have a partner, then maybe hold them, enjoy myself. That keeps me going.
Yeah. So it always works in the principle of leave it better than you found it.
I agree. And I love that principle.
Yeah. Thank you so much for Wanjiru and Kelvin for having this session with Center for Minority Rights and Strategic Litigation. And maybe happy Pride to you.
Happy Pride, Austrias. And thank you also, Center, for having us.
Yeah.
I believe this has been so awesome, having these conversations.
Thank you.
So now maybe as we close, to our viewers, to queer persons out there, happy Pride. And remember, Pride is more than just a celebration. It is a time for us to reflect, empower, and unite, such that our collective solidarity does not tumble down when we are facing hurdles like we are facing right now. And as well, be in the know that you are queer and you are African and you are Kenyan. Nobody can take away your Kenyanness from you. The Constitution of Kenya says that you, as a Kenyan, you have the right to dignity, and no one can take that away, no matter the laws now that they bring, the policies, the religious perspectives. And we affirm that our stories that we have shared here, our struggles and aspirations are part of the Africa's past, present, and future. Thank you so much. And don't forget to follow us on our social media handles at Instagram, CMRSL Trust, Facebook, Center for Minority Rights, TikTok, Center for Minority Rights, and YouTube, Center for Minority Rights. Bye.